What's up guys, back in the studio. Today we're gonna look at the kicks and the arrangement of my Qontinent anthem. This will be the fourth and final video regarding the Qontinent anthem. I'm gonna show you everything I did. Kicks, structure, arrangement, some sound design. Let's get into it. Just gonna start at the beginning of the track again, and then I'll just go through the kick parts and I'll show you what I did.
The mayhem.
Now, as you can see, I already recorded some parts just to keep it a bit clean. So I will not go into the creating of the kicks. I will do that in a separate video, just make a whole video dedicated to kick making. This is the final project, so a lot of stuff is bounced to audio. That is a bit easier to keep it tight and cut out reverbs or that, you know, those final tweaks. So here you can see this FX kick. This is just used to create some tension and make some edits in between this build up. So there's really like a kind of scratching effect. So these are made with Serum. I'll make a video about FX kicks if you guys are interested. So what this is doing is just chopping up this buildup. And then here you have another kick pitching up. Just with a sampler, just a kick I already had, just a finished kick. Pitching up the whole kick with punch and everything. If I still hear some sound design that I maybe didn't cover in the last videos, I'll just go over that real quick. Here's just this little pluck. Pretty cool sound. Maybe you should use that again in a track, because now it's just a little background thing. And then we have the scream from the Ambassador Inc. anthem, as I told you guys, that I ripped. And then here we just have a little kick roll with some panning, very simple. And then we go into the first drop, the first mid-intro drop. I'll play the kick on its own. I hope you guys won't sample it. There are so many sample packs at the moment, so be nice to me. Don't steal this kick. And if you do, then may God have mercy on your soul. So gated kick with a very tonal percussive punch. You can hear some rhythm in it. Not to go into too much detail, but this is just, that rhythm is just made with reverb. So I made like a high tone. And then I used Shaper Box to create like a little trance gate effect. And then the low end is just a rumble. If you cannot wait until my kick video, then there are a lot of videos about kicks. OPS has some really good ones, so check them out. That's the first kick. You can hear these stabbing sounds that are filling it up. So this is just a house stab. I was inspired by noise controllers. Feels so good. Yeah, I thought it was cool to use a sound like that again. And then I just chopped it up to like a little simple riff, filled it up with some reversed reverb that I just bounced and then fade in like a sidechain. And this is just really simple. Just finding a nice catchy groove to, yeah, give some rhythm. This is just you can see this is just the whole wave file. So I literally just took one of the previous versions that I already had in my export folder, and I just chopped some parts of the melody out of it, low cut it, And that just fills it up. That's all it does. Maybe don't even notice it in the final track, but these kind of things really help to give rhythm and groove and drive. This kick is doing the kick roll with some note. And then this. So these are kind of really grooving nicely together. Then there are some more chops. This is just repeating. And then here is another chop. So really just with audio, very simple. Then here is this kick thing that I showed you from... I didn't show you this. I showed you the FX kicks from the Climax Screech Climax FX kick session. But this is apparently the Climax Screech session. Okay, let's have a look what else is in there. Okay, could use that for another track. And then here, also this is just the whole track that I just sampled and imported again. So I just did some kick rolls, but really, really rough. Like it's just totally not clean or anything, but it works. So that's the most important. That's just repeating. So this whole thing is just 8 bars. Here's another chopped part of the screech. Then here we get the vocal on top. And here I can see this is called opruimen, which means clean up in Dutch. Let me see what I did here. Okay, just... Yeah, these are really the final touches that I usually do when the track is almost done. So just a little snare. And I chopped some crashes in between. And then here is another little fill screech. Okay, very easy. So these are probably just added at the last stage of this track. Then apparently I added the shouts also. Pitched up so they fit the tone, kinda. And here I also chopped the vocal scream. So they're all like really subtle details, but they really fill up the groove. Then we go into this 4-bar build. To go in the second part. So we get this vocal, that's just repeating that sentence again. So just repeating the forever and then with a ring modulator or frequency shifter, pitching up that last word, the rap coming over the top.
We run wild forever, we ride and die together, let's go. We run wild forever, we ride and die together, let's go.
And here you can already hear this kick. Like announcing the next part that's coming, but there's already some melody like dun 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 dun. So it's already like announcing that we're gonna go into another drop again. And you can also hear this like screechy rhythm. Screech rhythm that's filling up. So a pretty like hectic sounding rhythm, which gives a lot of drive. You can already hear the kick is doing some scratchy effects. This is the second kick. And here's this kick roll that's in between. And the FX kick. And then here I just pitched the punch down in that kick chain. And then here's a fill sound, just a laser. And that screech is also going an octave down in that second part. The second half of this drop. And you can hear a lot of reverb that's sidechained really hard to give that offbeat feeling. And this is usually just a bit of searching to find the right groove, the right glue, how everything is fitting together, because they're all like pretty random things on their own, but somehow they work together and form this logical feeling. You can also see that where that kick roll is, I leave room so you actually hear the kick roll. Or like they're following with that screech. So there is a little riff again. And then that's just fading out. We have this build up. That's pretty simple. This is a loop. Yeah, this is just a chain I made to make like percussive loops that sound interesting. So without, it's just some random drum and bass loop with this chain. So it just gives like a weird effect to it. Can also adjust it. And it's very subtle in the background, but it really works to fill up drops. And I use that in every track. Then I just throw in another loop, or I'll adjust my settings a little bit. So this is just distorting with some chorus, some frequency shifting, OTT, transgate. Just to make like a rhythmic element to fill up a drop without really noticing it. I find that a bit more interesting than, for example, just a hi-hat or something. And then we end this drop again with that FX kick. And here I just used a echo. I actually do that a lot lately, just put an echo, turn up the dry wet, and then have it fade out and take out some energy towards the end of that part. Then we already discussed the whole break, the whole vocals and the whole leads. So I'll skip right to the melody drop. Let me check this out here. Yeah, you can hear there is some glue missing because this is not with any master settings on it. So it's missing some pumping effect. But we use this kick roll again to just fall into that drop. And this kick was first in nimble, but then I heard some, I used this kick rack, which has two nimbles, one for the punch, one for the tail. Actually, let me just show you. So you can see nimble with a punch, nimble with a tail, and then some clipping and some shaper box, which is triggered by a MIDI trigger. It's all linked already. So that's how I set up this kick. Then when I was happy with the kick, I bounced it to audio. And then in the final stages, I could hear some small little bumps and stuff in the low end. So I just chopped the punch so it was separate, balanced that out a bit in volume. And then I did some high cut on the final tail. And then I did the punch verb separately, just to have a bit more control. I also have a chain for that I can just throw on the whole kick. I'll also show that in another dedicated kick video. So this is just the whole pitch kick. That's just the punch repeating with a low cut. I also extra transient with spiff, which works really well. This is the Tyron Tok transient. Great sample pack. And then I just boosted a little bit of 200 hertz, so it gives more transient in that region and a bit more in the high end. So if I put this up higher, very nice plugin for that kind of stuff. So that's also probably added at the last stage where I was like, I just need a little bit more transient, just add a little tick on top. Some kick rolls. Not too crazy. See, I even forgot some transient there. No crazy kick switch in the second half. Here is also a rhythm, which is probably just the punch. Yeah, that's a good trick that I learned from my collab with Sigmode. I saw him just adding this through the whole drop, which gives a nice rhythm. Just put it really soft. You can also put something else, percussive, but this works really well. And it's very subtle and gives a little drive. And here is a little kick push, which is just, I probably added this in a new project where I had like my final thing and I was just like balancing out some things, and I just add that on the whole track, bounce it again, and then put it back in this project. And again, you can hear that FX kick in the background, just always ending that part of the drop. Then we go into this bridge part, and then we go into this build-up, which has this stab kick. This is a serum with the house kick layered. So that's just like a kick made with serum. Then I put a house kick, sidechained it, pitched it up, and just bounced it. This vocal is again building up. I see there was a kick roll missing before the drop. But there was again that So we have this kick, which is a bit of a machine kind of sounding kick with a high high punch and a pretty tight transient. So that's just on the A or on the E. Let me check. Yeah, so that's on the A, that little high tone in the punch. And then some kick rolls. This is just filled up with some screeches. This was made in a separate project because I added that part all the way at the end. So these are just some pretty easy screeches, just filling up that rhythm. And you can hear again, the scream is filling it up. So the main thing in this part is the kick, and the rest is more like details to fill everything up. Here are also some screeches again from that climax screech. And this kick roll is coming back to finish the phrase every time. And this, again, the chop from the melody part. And then here you can hear that the house stab is back. But this is just mixed a bit around the kick, so that kick is really the main element. And here I see I made a folder called Noise. And I layered the crowd noise, just to give a bit more of a chaotic feeling. It's actually funny to see that back, because I really don't remember adding that. The small details, like for that last 5% of the track. So this is the lead just bounce coming up. And just with reverb coming up, so it drowns out a bit. We have the shouts, and I'm just reusing elements from the previous parts. So this is a pretty nice pre-drop. So there's a lot of small elements at the same time to make that interesting before it drops again. Where is the bass? Bass, bass, bass. To fill up that part. That's something you have to mix correctly so it doesn't take away the energy of the kick coming after. And I think in the final master I even cut out some low end there to make sure it didn't take away the power of the kick again. Then I'm repeating just the same kick. I felt this didn't really need another kick switch or anything, because you have this part. So there are a few extra notes. But it's playing the same melody, it's just a little bit more, there are a few more little details. Here it's playing a change in the melody. And then you get the vocal again on top. Then I put a final scream, because it's the final anthem. It's very poetic. With a convolver reverb. Damn. To give it more of a real space feeling. So it's really like that final thing you would hear at the final explosion at the festival. So I hope you guys found this useful. If there are any questions regarding the things you see in this production, drop them in the comments and I will check and make a list of cool things I can explain. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you leave a nice comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week in the next video. Peace.